I just wanted to. I didn't want to always be the only one side.
No. Okay, we can stink it. Okay. School beans. Here we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Kings
In
Conversation. Yo, thank you so much for all of the love and support that you all have shown us. It has been amazing. We want to make sure that we start off this episode by asking you all to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We want to hear back from you all.
So comment
Absolutely.
below
Yes.
and let us know what you're thinking, good or negative. As we always say, just keep it
Respectful.
because otherwise you're gonna get and I can't fight, but I hit you and I will run.
And run.
And we'll just delete it. But at the end of the day, seriously, we just want to make sure that we hear back from you. But all of the love that we have been shown has been amazing.
Oh yeah.
And we do want you guys to understand that a conversation is good and bad.
Yeah.
So we don't want you to feel like you have to agree with us.
You don't have to agree.
When you go in the comments, just make sure that we understand your points and we can agree to disagree.
Exactly.
That's
But
right.
you never know. Sometimes you can say something that will trigger
Exactly.
a change in us.
Exactly.
We don't know everything. We're giving you our opinions, and we talk about things that we find interesting that we hope that you would find interesting as well. So to kick this show off, Enrique. Oh, let me make sure we introduce ourselves. I'm Mike.
I'm Enrique.
And I'm Mocha.
So Enrique is gonna kick this show off. What you want to talk about?
Oh, relationships.
Yeah, what we gonna?
Oh, shucks.
This is gonna be tight. This was tight in our meeting, so our pre-production meeting. So here we go.
Oh, so when you are in a relationship,
Oh God.
I find that on social media, a lot of times people in relationships tend to put hearts on people's pages or say things like "thank you, boo" and things like that.
Mhm.
Is it okay to be okay with your ex and still hang out with them, but you're in a committed relationship?
Okay. I think
Oh
that that's
God,
something.
you set me up for the okie doke.
If you are, I think that's something that should be handled during the dating process. I think that if you still have a relationship with your friend, with your ex, I think that's something that should be discussed in the beginning when you're dating, because during that time is when you find out what type of person you're dating. You know if you're dating someone that's crazy. You know if you're dating someone who is insecure. You already know. During that time you're learning one another.
In the dating process,
that's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
So in the beginning, like for instance, for example, I'm friends with a lot of my exes, and when I'm dating someone, I tell them that in the beginning. I say, hey, a few of my exes, we're still cool, we're still friends. Do you have a problem with that? Because every now and then we hang out. Every now and then we go get something to eat. I still care about them.
Right.
I may not be in love with them, but I still, is there a problem? I think that's something that should be discussed in the beginning.
Okay.
Rather than waiting,
I agree with that.
until the end, until you get into the relationship and you're like, well, who in the hell is this person?
Right.
And you're like, well, you know what? That's my ex. You know what I'm saying? And now it's, well, why you never told me that you were still friends with your ex?
So that definitely should come up in the dating
I feel like
phase.
it should be handled in the beginning. That's just my opinion.
In the dating phase, the representative shows up, and the
Exactly.
real person doesn't show up until after the dating
I agree.
phase. That's what happens a lot of times.
I agree.
In relationships.
And I've been guilty of
so
doing that too.
they paint perfect pictures of who they want you to
see.
think they are.
That's right.
And then they come out to be the real person.
That's right.
So,
I've done that
how
before.
do you feel?
Well, for me, I'm very transparent. Like, I'm transparent over all social media, everything. And as I've told y'all before, when I got in my relationship and when I've gotten in any relationship, I always tell people, if you cannot deal with my phone, if you cannot deal with me talking to exes, if you cannot, then I'm not the person for you.
Right.
Because, as I've said, when you meet somebody, we make the situations out to what we want them to be. And so if somebody's in my life and God still has them in my life, I'm going to have them in my life.
Right.
So if it's an ex, we're still going to be friends. And I'm actually really, really, really good friends with all of my exes. Still
That's
really
awesome.
close with all of them except for one. And the only reason he and I are not close is because Once I gave him a chance, I realized he was still the same person. Credit card fraud, checks, and all that.
Oh, God.
Yes, all that type of stuff.
That's a lot.
And so
no judgment, but that's a lot for me.
I let that particular person go. I'm still cordial with him, but we're not friends.
Right.
But I still hang out with all of my exes. If they say, let's go have lunch, I'll tell my husband, hey, I'm going to have, and he knows them all.
Right.
Like he has a relationship with all of them as far as speaking, and they speak to him. It's nothing disrespectful, but I'm just very open and honest, and I feel like, as I've said, people have to be 100.
I agree.
Stop saying you're 100 and be 100.
I agree with that.
It ain't about words. Show me the actions.
I don't know. For me, I just made a video. I forgot that we were even making this topic today. I just made a video
I
about.
saw it on
Did you see
Instagram.
my video? Yeah. So this is the truth. I am still in love with all. No.
You still love.
I still love all of my exes, but I love them the same level that I loved them when we were together. Right. The only thing is now I had to reposition them in my life. And for me, where I made my mistake was the fact that I did not go through a proper dating process. I don't know if I've ever done that. I think I got with a person very, very quickly. We weren't friends first. And then even if we were friends with benefits. So that already muddied the water. Y'all get what I'm saying?
I got you.
So I never really had a chance until maybe this season of my life to actually be friends and then move to something different. So I ended up falling in love with people that I don't particularly like.
Wow. See, R. Kelly had the song Homie Lover Friend.
Right.
And that song, I promise y'all, that song is a staple for my life. I always wanted my mate to be my homie, my lover, and my friend.
Right.
So I always made steps to make sure that happened, because the friendship is always going to last longer than a relationship. Always.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you present the real you in the beginning.
And see, I had issues with that in past.
Right.
Where I had a lot of insecurities because of past relationships. And I wasn't doing anything with my exes, but if my current boyfriend was to come to me and say, hey, I'm going to hang out with my ex, I had the problem with him hanging out because of what I went through in past relationships. Right. I didn't trust it. Right. And what I found out is because I had some insecurities. And a lot of times that's what the issue is. If they're not secure and if they haven't healed from past relationships, then a lot of that can stem from that. Just being insecure about, well, I don't trust it, or I feel like they're going to do something, or I feel like, because that was my issue. I knew I wasn't doing nothing with my ex, but I had a problem when my boyfriend wanted to go hang with his because of what I had went through in past relationships.
The thing that I've discovered is that people who can't be trusted don't trust. That is the biggest problem.
But trust should be earned anyway. Yeah. I think you should give people the benefit of the doubt until they earn your trust. This is one of the things I see in our community, and I'm talking about the LGBTQ+ and in the heterosexual community. We move into relationships too fast.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know who they are. We don't know their family. We don't know their history. We don't know their struggles. We don't know their issues. And by the time we're locked in, we then are connected to someone who's not good for us. Doesn't mean they're not good. They're not good for us.
Because in our culture, in our community, we are so lonely.
We are.
No, that ain't just our culture and our community. It's people, period.
But you know what? Because a lot of times we've been rejected.
Are so lonely.
Right.
Like that is have you noticed that? Like we are.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like being alone.
We are so lonely.
I don't like being by myself.
That's what I've just
got
never.
Something on your beard right there.
But you know why though? Can I tell you probably why?
It's the last shirt.
No, but you know he has something over here I've been wanting to get the whole time. I'm not lying. It was red.
Because it's black. People don't black. And y'all both have some. Go ahead.
But I feel I don't want to be by myself. I don't like being by myself. And I think the reason why you probably feel different is because you grew up with a lot of confidence from your parents.
Yes, no. Surrounded around a lot of love.
No. You weren't surrounded by a lot of love.
Yes, you were.
Hold on. First and foremost, I did not grow up with a lot of confidence. I suffered from low self-esteem up until 30.
Oh, that's right. You did say
exactly.
That. Okay.
So that was not the thing.
So what is the key to not being lonely?
Right. Because I'm lonely.
Are you lonely?
I'm lonely.
You are too fine to be lonely.
I need a man.
Oh Lord, put the drink down.
Here we go.
Let the drink go.
I need a man.
If you're interested in
I need a man. You
go to his DM. Do not come to Kings and Conversation.
So when it comes time for lunch, go to Mocha. But no, my thing has always been I've always been headstrong.
Okay.
So I never looked at a state of being lonely because I just found other outlets.
Okay.
Writing songs, writing music, writing poems, and so I just utilized that to do other things. Now, I will tell you, the birth of my first son was out of not feeling that I would have anything to leave in this world. So it wasn't lonely. It was just, okay, well, God, if I was to die, what's going to happen? Is this gonna, and so that's how my first son was conceived, in that mindset. Yes. So I went through an interview process, and
right.
Because
right. And I can't wait to talk about that because that's interesting.
I went through a process of wanting to meet women and doing the research of understanding genetics of what's going to happen if me and her get together and we have this child. So I've never dealt with being lonely per se. I just knew that someday I would get out and in the world and something out there was for me because of my faith and my belief in knowing that God is going to make a way. But I mean, I sat in my room plenty of nights by myself in the dark, just listening to music and saying one day.
Wow.
I literally lived in a fairy tale world. And I have siblings, so I don't know how that worked, but...
So when we talk about actually being friends with your ex, at the end of the day, do you believe that it's okay? I think it's okay. I'm still friends. I think
it's okay.
I'm still friends.
As long as it's respectful, it's
okay. As long as there's some respect involved, and there's some good, effective communication between, I think it's fine.
I am friends with all of my exes, and one particular ex, I'm hoping that we can get to a place to where we can be cool, but we just there's just more healing that has to take place. All right, and I want to make sure I leave it like.
I was about to really dig in deep, but we run
out of time on that one. So Saved by the Bell. All right, so our next topic is Mr. D.L. Hughley, who recently passed out at a comedy show, and come to find out he had coronavirus. What do y'all think about that?
Well, I don't really follow DL like that.
Okay.
No offense, I don't really think he's funny.
Oh, wow.
But I do not wish that type. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't either.
Neither do I.
I loved him.
Right. I respect his hustle.
Right.
And I respect his hard work
and the work he does for the black community.
Exactly. And he's a successful black man.
Yes.
I don't wish that on anyone.
Right.
COVID has taken a lot of people out here. Sadly. And so we're praying for you,
definitely,
DL, and we're praying for a speedy recovery. But he passed out from exhaustion, huh?
He did. It was from dehydration and exhaustion. And because of that, when he went to the doctor, they found out that he had COVID. But this is one of the things that I want to say about COVID, which will lead us into our final topic, is I think a lot of people, 90% of people who get COVID have no real symptoms. So you can have COVID and not even really know it. You would have to actually go get a test to find out. And so it doesn't stop you from being a carrier. So 10% of the people that get COVID, those are the individuals, 10% of those people can actually suffer greatly from, the effects of COVID. So we have to be careful. He was at a comedy show. From what I saw in the pictures, people were sitting close together. And I just don't want to talk about your show, DL. I want to talk about what I see in the clubs. I want to talk about what I see in public.
And Walmart.
And y'all know I just got back from Vegas. I just got back from Vegas. 90% of people in Vegas did not have on a mask.
It ain't just Vegas.
Well, I'm just talking about what I saw.
It ain't just Vegas.
Definitely going on.
I have literally gone into stores and I have my mask on and I'm probably the only person in the store with the mask on. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how are y'all this relaxed? I had someone on Facebook to say, well, y'all are screaming, put on masks, and what is that going to do? And I'm like, if they're asking us to take the precautions, then just do it. And I made a post about a month ago to say, just appease these people. Let's just all wear masks. Let's just all stay in the house. And if the numbers continue to grow, then we can argue. Then we can say, why are we doing this? Because it's purposeless. But you can't argue that fact if you're not doing what they're asking you to do.
Has it been proven to really work?
So let's give facts. Facts have shown, medical research have shown that if you wear a mask, if you put a mask on,
Oh, that's so cute.
Look
It
at
says,
how
it
cute
says
that looks.
King Mike.
Thank you. So
King
this mask was made by by Jewel Company, and her information is on the screen. You can order your own specialized face
I
mask.
think Jewel should send me one.
Listen,
she
the whole
should say it
show,
too.
definitely. But if you wear a face mask, you lessen your chances of contracting coronavirus down to 1.5%.
Wow.
So that means the odds of you contracting coronavirus are so low and so slim.
Yeah.
But we think, well, it doesn't matter because no face mask is going to keep you from a virus. The virus is transmittable through air, through touch, through and definitely sanitizing your hands consistently. I did a lot of that when I was in Vegas
Now make
as
sure
well.
we give the disclaimer because I know somebody's gonna say we don't have on masks. I know they're gonna say that.
So, and that's fine. That
Right.
people can say that none of us have coronavirus that we know of. And
No,
that
I
we-
know I don't.
I know I don't.
And I know I don't.
So,
No, I ain't got it.
And so none of our production does. So what we're doing, we're able to be in this closed environment, and legally we're allowed to be in a place where there are 10 people or less gathered together, right?
That's right.
And there's only 6 of us
Now
here.
put that mask on
Period.
again for me. I do want to make this point. You see how Mike is wearing his mask?
Where it's covering the
Yeah,
nose
it's covering the
and the
nose
mouth.
and the mouth. This is
It's unacceptable.
That's defeating the
Defeating
purpose.
the purpose. Shit.
So listen, and research has also shown that if everybody was wearing a mask, we would be beyond coronavirus right now.
Exactly.
It would not be in our country anymore. But because we refuse, and someone brought up a good point. So let's bring up the right-wing side. They said that wearing a mask is an intrusion on their civil liberties.
Yes, I've heard that.
How do y'all feel about
It's
that?
my constitutional right that I do not have to wear a mask because I know Costco had a video that went viral with them putting a person out
And Walmart.
for not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And what people have to understand is that most businesses are at-will businesses. I
Right.
don't have to serve you.
Right.
I do not have to serve you. And being a business owner, I do know this. So I know that when you're walking into my establishment, if you come in and I feel like you're causing me harm or you're going to cause harm to other people in my building, I can put you out. I can
Right.
refuse service to you. And when the video went viral for them to say, well, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. Well, I'm sorry. My policy says, my rules say, and you're going to have to abide by those rules and those policies, or you cannot shop nor eat here.
Period.
So you can't get mad about it. Just like your right is to not wear a mask,
Right.
my right is to not serve.
serve.
Right. So
Listen, before we wrap this up, I want to tell you about my experience flying on a plane. I will not say what airline, and it wasn't the airline's fault. It was an individual. When we were walking to get on, go to the lobby area before you get on your flight, there was a young lady with her boyfriend, her husband, and her face mask was down here. And she was coughing like,
Oh my God.
and she had nerve enough to come and sit right in front of me and the person that I was with.
What did you say?
I
'Cause
got
know
the
you
hell
said
up
something.
and moved to the other side. And then I told the person I was with, I was like, you see this bullshit?
Wow.
Because at the end of the day, yes, I was
wait
upset.
a minute. So she had on the mask.
She had on the mask down
Below
here,
her mouth
but coughing.
and coughing.
And then when she got on the flight, she did put her mask on, but she was still coughing. And I was like, okay, well, I got my mask on. I'm good. I'm covered. I'm saying sanitizer on my hands. She did not sit anywhere near us. So, I was happy about that point. But we're in an enclosed space. And let me say this so y'all won't be afraid to fly. Airlines are making sure that they are cleaning and filtering the air.
Good.
So just
Good.
because it automatically, when air is in the plane, it's automatically being sucked up, cleaned, and pushed back in. So I want to make sure that I stand up for the airlines who are making sure that they're doing that. But that was a horrible experience. I was very upset about that.
I probably would have punched her.
I can tell you, I was just I'm just like,
Wow.
Okay, so
A mess.
I stumbled across a video yesterday on Instagram where a young black man was eating, and a white woman came over with the mask on. She left her table where she was eating. She came over with the mask on, and he said, "Why are you coming to my table?" Like he started filming her, and she was like, "You don't have on a mask." He said, "I'm eating. How am I supposed to have a mask on while I'm eating?"
right.
So he pointed to the table where she was sitting, where there was a white man sitting eating without a mask. He said, "So am I any different from him?"
Wow.
So the thing is, and it goes back to everything we've been saying. It ain't a race thing.
Right.
It ain't a
it's
gender
a
thing.
health
It's
thing.
a health thing. wear your mask.
When you go out, just wear your mask.
Just put the mask on.
And y'all know we have to give our disclaimer. This is just us.
Our opinion.
This is just our
Although the CDC does back what we're saying when it comes to wearing your mask.
People are going to say, well, how are you going to tell me? I'm just saying, again, as I said when we
Save
first started
your
this
life.
conversation, appease these people. If we all collectively put on a mask and just said, for 1 month, we're going to all wear a mask. And if the numbers continue to grow, now we can say
I love that.
46.1, what's going on? CDC, what's going on? We can say that because we have validity to say we did what you asked us to do.
Right.
But if we're not doing what you asked,
But let me
you
say
can't
this.
argue.
46 minus 1, you don't even wear a mask.
No,
Ain't never
his
had
face
no
is a
one.
mask, actually.
All right.
A burnt orange mask.
Well, listen,
A burnt orange.
we really, really hope that you have enjoyed these topics. I'm telling you, we have the best conversation, and y'all are absolutely crazy. But listen, we want to make sure that we remind you that we here at Kings in Conversation does something special called Lunch on Us. Go to our Instagram page. Make sure that you find the new post that says Lunch on Us. Drop us your Cash App, and we will pick one or a couple of people that will Cash App money to you.
So we'll start picking
to
those
go to lunch.
ASAP.
Yes,
Yeah.
because now we've been in a couple of weeks now with the show. So we are excited. Thank you again. Make sure that you follow us on all social media. All of Mocha's fans, make sure you follow him.
Follow me.
Make sure
like
you
that
follow the
chocolate
main
skin.
page, Kings in Conversation.
Please make sure you go to our Instagram page and follow us on Kings in Conversation.
Kings and Conversations, yeah. You've been drinking.
No, he ain't been
No,
drinking. He's good today.
I'm actually good. We flowing,
Yes,
right?
we are.
Hey,
And
all
if
right.
y'all hungry and y'all in Stone Mountain, come see me.
Oh my God, I was going to say that.
Yeah, you got to go to.
Listen,
Y'all got to go to this
if you are
restaurant. You
anywhere
gotta go to
in
this
Stone
restaurant.
Mountain, please make sure that you go to Old School Flavor.
OL. Not old.
Old
School Flavor.
And that information is on the screen. Make sure you also follow Old School Flavor on Instagram. All right, because they have some amazing food. My favorite
is the
Mojo.
Yeah, my favorite is the
everybody's
shrimp
Mojo.
The
The
shrimp
Mojo.
Mojo.
Yeah.
Because you know I try to be pescatarian. Lies. But I try my best to be. All right, listen, everybody. We love y'all. Thank you again for watching. Y'all have an amazing day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.